Hey guys, so here is the part 2 of the key events to summarize. So I've given you an introduction to key events to summarize and the story, and I have read aloud and modeled the key events in a summary of part 1, which is paragraphs 1 through 9. So for this one, we're going to do the rest of the story, which is paragraphs 10 through 15, in the same way that we did it a minute ago. Well, for me, it was a minute ago. For you guys. Hopefully it's the next day. I don't want you doing all this in one day. I mean, I guess you can if you want to, but you can watch my videos more than once. I like to feel I'm kind of entertaining. Maybe I'm not. Duke thinks I'm entertaining. My dog. Y'all see my dog? There's my other dog. Can you see him down there? Yeah, he gets all excited. He loves me. And the rabbit, there's a rabbit back there. I don't know if you can see. You can't really see his cage. He's got a cage back there. I think he's up on, yeah, he's up there on the top. He just drank some water. It was really weird. I could hear him swallowing. Ever heard a rabbit swallow before? And then he yawned, and I saw all his teeth. I was like, oh, that's weird. Ollie Bear's over here eating his food. Yeah. Duke is barking because Mr. Showcat is outside doing stuff before the storm comes tonight. Tessa must have found China. I don't know. So, okay. My kids are in bed, but they're awake. I mean, this is what the quarantine means to teenagers. Okay. So I'm going to now read to you because, like I said, I miss reading to my students. I really like being a teacher. It's really weird teaching like this because I kind of like to be interacting with you guys more. All right. So we're going to be doing 10 through 15. So I'm going to read it aloud and we'll just kind of model my thinking a little bit and how I read it. And I get to be entertained because I get to read it to you. So the pursuit of the dragons. In haste, the prince donned his armor. Donned. I wonder if I click on it, if it'll read it to me. Donned. Good. In haste, the prince donned his armor. Then he mounted his black steed. Next, spear in hand, he dashed out of the west gate of the city, running. He pressed on his horse. Which went swift as the wind. So he must be like, giddy up. He did not slacken speed till he came up with the water-stealing dragons. The two still retained the forms in which they had appeared to him in his dream. On a cart were the two identical baskets he had seen, and in front of the cart, dragging it, was the old woman, and pushing it from behind was the old man. Came upon those dragons still looking like humans. All right, an unexpected flood. When the prince saw the old man and woman, he galloped up to the cart, spear in hand. You remember, he's ready to fight. As quick and as strong as lightning, he thrust his spear into one of the baskets. It made a great hole, out of which the water rushed so rapidly that the prince was much frightened. He dashed off at full speed to save himself from being swallowed up by the waters, which in a very short time had risen more than 30 feet and had flooded the surrounding country. 30 feet, that's like a tsunami. Okay. On galloped the prince. He's only out for himself. What about his people? On galloped the prince, followed by the roaring water, till he reached a hill, up which he urged his startled horse. Get the hill! When he gained the top, he found that it stood out of the water like an island, completely surrounded. The water was seething and swirling around the hill like a great serpent, but no vestige. Let's see.
Vestige.
No vestige. No vestige could he see of either of the dragons. No vestige could he see. It's an interesting word. I kind of think it probably means no vision. They couldn't see them. Anyways, their image, like no image of them. Anyway, so here we have pretty cool. I guess this is a wall. Kind of looks like a wall. Let's see what it says. The 9 dragons scream. Wall. is more than 6 meters, which is 20 feet tall, and 27 meters, which is 89 feet long. There is approximately 3 feet in each meter, approximately. So 3 times 6 would be 18. So it's makes sense. And 27 times 3 would be 81 feet, would be 81. So anyways, long. It is made of glazed tiles and was built in the 1400s. Now, the 1400s is what century? The 15th century. 1400s, it's the next number up century. It is in a park near the Forbidden City. Cool. All right. Anyway, so he's on this hill. He's surrounded by water. There's no vestige could be seen of the dragon. So we get the water subside. I'm seeing a change in event that is easily identified by the subheading, change. All right, the prince was very much alarmed at his perilous position when suddenly a Buddhist priest appeared before him with clasped hands and bent head, who bade him not to be alarmed, as with heaven's assistance he would soon disperse the water. Hereupon the priest recited a short prayer or spell, and the waters receded as rapidly as they had risen, and finally returned to their proper channels. Interesting. This is a cool picture. It says the Jade Peak Pagoda in the Summer Palace in Beijing overlooks the Jade Spring Hill. Wonder if that's the hill they're referring to in the legend. Anyways. All right, the origin of the fountain. I'm wondering if this is another key event that is easily identifiable by a different subheading. The origin of the fountain. The broken basket became a large, deep hole about half an acre wide. So I'm thinking your house that it's on, with the front yard and the backyard and the house included, that is probably about a quarter of an acre you live on. So just to give it a little bit of an idea of how big it is, an acre is like 4 of your houses, I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but about. All right, the broken basket became a large, deep hole about half an acre wide. Oh, make that 2 houses. In the center was a fountain, which threw up a vast body of water as clear as crystal. From the midst of this, there arose a pagoda that rose and fell with the water. It floated on the top like a vessel. The spire thrust itself far up into the sky. That's that point at the top. It swayed about like the mast of a ship in a storm. Can you guys picture this? When the prince returned to the city, he was hailed as its savior. On all sides, he was greeted by crowds whose cheering was as loud as the rushing fountain. Since that time, Peking has never had the misfortune to be without water. It is said that the pagoda on the hill watches over the imperial springs, whose clear waters bubble up day and night unceasingly and flow eastward to Peking, which, according to legend, would still be as barren as a desert, but for the prince's pursuit of the water. So you really see how important water is just from this legend. All right, and it says, this next picture here, it says the Tower of Buddhist Incense. The Tower of Buddhist Incense Pagoda is also in the Summer Palace. Though built several hundred years after the Prince of Yen's death, it resembles the pagoda described in his story. So it doesn't sound like that pagoda floating on the water is still there, but at least this gives you an idea of what it looked like, of what the building or the structure looked like as it was floating in the water. All right, so I am definitely hoping that you were able to easily identify some key events to summarize this text, because they were easily identifiable with the fact that this is broken up into sections with subheadings, such as the pursuit of dragons. So the prince went after the dragons. An unexpected flood. He thrust his spear into a basket and it caused a great surge of water to come out of it to cause a big flood. And then the next section was the water subside. A Buddhist shows up, says a prayer, waters go back to their channels. And then the next one, origins of a fountain, a spring, or a hole was formed from the basket that was filled with water, and a fountain sprouted in the middle with a pagoda floating in it. I mean, that's what I would basically say. But let me highlight that stuff. All right, we want the small one so I can highlight it appropriately. All right. So the prince, with the spear in his hand, dashed out of the west gate. He ran after the dragons. Okay. So when the prince sees them, he thrusts the spear into one of the baskets. He sure did. And the water gushes out. There's all this great detail to kind of help you visualize this, but it's not needed in a summary. You need these details to tell a great story, but you don't need them when you're writing a summary. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the water rushed so rapidly. Yeah, that water just rushed out and caused like a flood. So then so the prince chases after the dragons, finds them, thrusts a spear into one of the baskets. Water comes rushing out of the basket and causes a flood. The prince runs to a hill, and a Buddhist prince appeared. Okay. And the prince appeared and said a prayer, and the waters returned to their proper channels. And the broken basket, this is the cool part. The broken basket became a hole, a deep hole, half an acre long or wide. And it created a fountain. So, which threw up the vast water of water as crystal is clear. So that's like the fountain part of it. And then it floated, and there arose a pagoda with the water. I guess this is like explaining what the fountain looked like. The body of water was as clear as crystal. Why isn't that highlighting? There we go. Okay. And that was a nice simile. It was as clear as crystal. So kind of gives you a visual. Like for me, like when I think of crystal, especially when it's shining in the light, I see all like the sparkles and stuff. So if you've ever been around water on a really sunny day, it really does kind of look like if it's spraying, like the water and the sun reflecting off of it really does kind of look like crystal. So, and then he returns to the city of Savior. Ooh, man, I really don't have control over this pen. Okay. So I'm going to write my summary here. Hopefully you have already written your summary so that you can check yours and compare it to this one. If you want to make any changes to yours to improve it, I would recommend it. All right. So the prince dashes after the dragons with his spear. When he finds the dragon, he thrusts his spear into a basket, and the water rushes out. He runs to a hill, and a Buddhist priest. Can I spell Buddhist wrong? Can I find the word somewhere else? Oh, there's two D's. There's two D's in Buddhist. Boop. And a Buddhist priest shows up, says a prayer, and the waters recede. The basket created a hole where a fountain and pagoda appeared. The prince returned to Peking and hailed a savior. which is like the hero. Okay, so let me pull this down so you can see the whole thing. There we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. This is a 64 words. So how does that compare to your summary? Did you have to use more words than me, or did you use the same amount of words? I was trying to make that. There we go. So that's like a fun little game I like to play, is how many words did it take you to write your summary? And that was 64 words, but look how many words are in this paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. There they go. They're always barking at something. So 67 words in one paragraph of this part 2. And my summary of the whole part 2 is only 64 words. So you can see how a summary is just meant to hit the big events. The story, a good story, has all those details. It has to, or else you're not going to be entertained, or you're not going to learn enough, or things aren't going to be explained, and you're not going to be able to visualize without all those details. But to write a summary, they're not required. So let's stop sharing. Duke is still barking. He's our protector. He doesn't let anybody come into the house. He does his job very well. Of course, if they come in the house, all he's going to do is lick them to death anyways. So hopefully you learned a little bit more today about key events and how to use them to summarize and the point of it all. And then I hope that you guys did a great job identifying them before you checked your work with mine. So great job, guys. And remember, do the work, then check your answers with this video. Don't do it the other way around, because then you're not going to learn anything. It's just going to be copying my stuff, which is not part of the learning process. The learning process requires mistakes. You have to make them to learn from them. So hopefully that's what you're doing. Anyways, miss all of you guys. Hopefully we'll be back in those buildings. I have no idea, but can't wait to see your faces.